The obi has been worn by both men and women throughout the centuries in Japan, and like often happens in Japanese culture, there's a long history and complicated code around it. But a simple version of the obi has recently become popular in Western fashion. You can find it in all sorts of materials, colors, and width variations. Contrary to what happens with a Japanese obi, in the West, this belt is worn more like a corset, aiming to add tailoring and define the silhouette. But it also brings an extra layer of color, pattern, and texture to any look. The obis made in this workshop are seamless and wet felted using extra fine merino wool, industrial pre-felt, and silk or other types of light fabrics so that they are washable, durable, and comfortable to wear. What do you need to know? Nuno felting requires you to have some confidence with wet felting already, but this project allows you to learn the basics of Nuno felting. In fact, it's a relatively easy way to start and to practice for bigger projects. What will you learn in this workshop? You learn which fabric to choose for Nuno felting, how to wet felt multiple layers of woolen fabric, Nuno felting with the rubbing and the rolling processes, when to use cold water and hot water during the Nuno felting process. How much time do you need for the project? This will greatly depend on how much experience and confidence you have with wet felting, but it can take you anywhere from 3 to 5 hours to complete. I really recommend you watch the whole workshop first to get a general idea before you start working. This is particularly important because there are 2 variations of the obi in this workshop with quite a lot of differences, even in the felting process. It's important to start by deciding which one you'd prefer making. This workshop is divided into 9 parts. Number 1 is the introduction, and then we start working on the green and blue obi. So part 2 is about preparing the materials. 3 is about wet felting the cords. Number 4 is on wet felting the belt, and then we go on to the pink Japanese style obi, and part 5 is about preparing the materials for this obi. Part 6, joining the layers. 7, wet felting the cords. 8, wet felting the whole piece. And then part 9 is just a small note on the size of the obi and how to wear it. So if you buy the video version of the workshop, you'll get 9 high definition videos, 1 for each felting phase. Before you start, please make sure you have all the materials you need. Gauze, cheesecloth or any other white loose woven fabric, white industrial pre-felt or make your own, silk, cotton or any light, thin, loosely woven fabric, fabric strips or wool threads, extra fine merino wool, preferably a wool top in blue or white according to the project, plastic to cover your work surface, bubble wrap, soap, water and a towel, a rolling pin and a small bamboo mat. My workshops are based on a decade of experience felting and teaching to felt, and I develop them with a lot of care and attention to details. Still, if for any reason you find something in this workshop isn't clear to you, please don't hesitate to contact me at goingthedodoway@gmail.com.